it's just another bad day. Dark feelings are back, assaulting your heart with a panic attack. There ain't no shame in feeling depressed. You need to sit down and talk, son, get it off your chest. It's just another bad day. Dark feelings.
Welcome to the Andy's Man Club podcast. We think it might be episode 6, 7 or 8. We're not quite sure, but we're going to go with it anyway. As we always do, we're going to keep it real and raw. I'm here today, Luke Campbell's one of your hosts. We've got my co-host,
Andy G. Nice to see you, everybody. Thank you for joining us.
We've got a very special guest, and I'm really excited to have him on. We've got Ricky Moore. Good to have you.
Hey, guys.
So, Andy, our normally role is, and we get the guest to introduce himself a little bit of a snapshot, like a Facebook or Twitter bio, don't we, to give us a little bit of a snapshot of that individual. So, yeah, Ricky, if you want to give people a bit about you.
Okay, so I'm Ricky. I'm the owner of 1RM Personal Training Studio in Leeds. It's a specialist personal training studio. I've been into fitness and bodybuilding all my life, pretty much. I'm an ex-competitive bodybuilder. Packed it in about 3 years ago now to open up the studio. Did quite well in bodybuilding. I won a British title in 2012. Came runner-up at the World Championships in 2012 and 2014. And then my last show was Mr. Universe in 2016, where I came 5th place.
Quality, man. That's unbelievable. I think what's interesting about getting you on, Ricky, is a lot of our guests, there's been a common theme that they might have either had a mental health problem or they've been involved, with a suicide or known someone. For you, when we first chatted, which were really good ones, is like you just, there's no connection to it as such, is there?
Not really. I mean, I've not really experienced any particular mental health problems myself, or I don't really know anyone who's been close to me who's had mental health problems either. So it's not something that's really close personally to me.
I think what's good with that is, which we'll go into in a bit, is that you're a bloke, you've gone through struggles, you're going through struggles, and that in a nutshell is Andy's Man Club. You're either going through a storm, you've just been through a storm, or there's a storm brewing your life is our tagline, and you've been through some storms yourself. But I think before we get into your storms, like you said there, you've been a successful bodybuilder, you've got a successful business, you've got the nice car, the partner, everything on the outside looking in, people would think this guy's got it all, and his life looks perfect.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, obviously I've got certain situations I'm currently going through, which we're going to go into later. But, from a business perspective and, a lot of things, I do have a lot of good things going on in my life.
Well, take us back, because there's always a reason why people get into fitness, isn't there? Myself playing rugby, I was a fat kid. Now I'm a fat man, but I was a fat kid, started playing rugby, I fell in love with it. There's a reason why you got into bodybuilding, isn't there? Yeah,
I mean, like I say, even though I might be successful now and I've got a lot of good stuff going for me now, it's not always been like that. If I go back, wow, I've just turned 40, unbelievable, I know. But if I go back, say, to my teenage years, so back in my teenage years, I had a very tough upbringing. My parents were drug dealers, alcoholics, and not very good people, to be fair. And that kind of caused me to go off the rails when I was, in my early teenage years, which cultivated in me getting expelled from school at 14 years old. I never finished my qualifications. I've never took one qualification in my life, like GCSE or an A level or anything. Got kicked out at 14. And then when I was 16, due to my dad getting arrested for being a drug dealer, basically, we had a fallout over it because it was me who got arrested on his behalf. Me and my mum got arrested on his behalf at the time. I got arrested. And in the interview with the police, I said something that maybe dropped him in it. But I was only 15 years old. So, and me and my dad had a fallout over that, which made me have to move out of the family home at 16 years old and live on my own. And I'd say, if anything, that situation there is where I've got all of my drive and work ethic from, because being basically thrown to the lions at 16, you've either got to sink or swim. So at 16, 17, I went off the rails. I was out committing crimes. I had no money, so I had to rob people. I was burgling houses, stealing cars to make some money because I didn't have anyone to look after me. I was into taking drugs, selling drugs. Probably through the ages of 16 and 18, I probably drunk and took drugs pretty much every day for 2 or 3 years. And then I kind of had a light bulb moment when I was about 18 or 19. It was after getting in trouble with the police for something pretty serious. I went, right, I need to just stop. Otherwise, I'm going to go. I had a crossroads. It was one way or the other at that point. And that's what got me into the gym. So I started going to the gym, trying to better myself. And that was kind of where the path started. I wanted to stop being this bad person I've become and become a better person. And the gym was my way of trying to make myself a better person.
Quality, mate.
Brilliant.
And what would you say for anyone listening that fitness and that consistency has given you mental health wise, mindset wise? What does that give you?
Oh, massive things, Luke. It's literally made me the person I am today. It's given me drive. It's given me work ethic. It's given me something to live for. It's given me something to focus on. It's made me feel good about myself because, if you've got a choice of going on the piss or having a good week in the gym, I'd choose the good week in the gym. And that makes you feel like a better person. So every time you make the good choice, you're becoming a better person and you're moving further away from the bad person. So every workout I did, every set I did was a step closer towards becoming a better person and a step away from this bad person that I'd become as a teenager.
That's like a lot of our guys, isn't it, Andy, where it might not even be that they've had some circumstances similar to Ricky. They might not even have been in that negative cycle in that sense, but they might have got themselves into some negative mindsets, might they? And, a lot of them might choose to go on the piss, take drugs, and continue to be in that negative cycle. But what I like there about what you said is you get a choice, don't you, every day? Do I go and do that choice there, which is going to lead me further down that dark path? Or do I go and take that choice there, which is going to get my mindset right, which is going to get my body right, my self-confidence up? And slowly but surely, as hard as it is to walk through the door of Andy's Man Club, it's hard to walk through the door of a gym, innit? But
100%. If someone's new to the gym, especially if you're a little skinny kid or an overweight person, you're going to feel intimidated and you're going to feel like everyone's looking at you, but you've just got to get through that barrier, get them workouts done. And like I say, every time you hit a target or have a good week, you'll feel accomplished in yourself.
Yeah. You mentioned there, Ricky, obviously the issues that you had in life and your light bulb moment and things like that. But I think it's really important to sort of say that it's never too late to have that light bulb moment, is it? Obviously yours came quite young in life at 18, 19, but it doesn't matter how old you are, it's never too late to make those positive steps. And, that might be stepping through the door of a gym, or it might be stepping through the door of an AMC, or it might be whatever it might be, your, positive step that you take. It's never too late to take that, is it? Never too late.
It doesn't matter what age you are. There's always, a chance to better yourself. Every day is another day to better yourself. Do you know what I mean? It's like, like Luke said, I just see life as a series of choices. And you've always got to try and make the right choice. But if you don't make the right choice, don't worry. You've got another day tomorrow to try and make another right choice.
Definitely.
Can you take us through a day in your life? So, I always think what I love about bodybuilders is, and I don't know if you still have the same routines, but it's very regimented, isn't it, usually? Bodybuilders have very strict routines. Yeah. And I found that through lockdown, when you have days where you have no routine, it can messes your head up. The days where you actually have your routine in place, and I think getting yourself on here, I think that'd be a great bit of info.
Yeah, I mean, my days now, pretty much, I live exactly the same as when I used to compete. I still eat pretty much the same. I still train exactly the same. I just obviously don't do the end product of the show because I've just not got time to do that last bit. But my day-to-day life is exactly the same as when I was competing as a bodybuilder. So, and routine, like you say, is everything. For me, staying in a routine is the biggest asset to keeping this strong. So a day, I'll go back. I'll imagine we're open. It's a normal day at work. So the alarm goes off at 5:45 every day.
Even is that weekends as well?
No, it's a little bit later on the weekend. So Monday to Friday it'll be 5:45. Saturday it'll be 6:30, and Sunday I just get up when I feel like getting up. But that'll still be 6, 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
So if I go Monday to Friday, alarm goes up at 5:45. 6 a.m. I have my first meal of the day, which is already made the night before, so I don't have to make it on the morning. I get up and eat my first meal at 6.
Oh, that's free food as well, because I think some of these choices will be good as well.
I have porridge, protein, blueberries, and some nuts at 6 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. I'll go to the gym. First client at 6:30 till 7:30. My second client will be 7:45 till 8:45. I have a break then. I have my second meal a day at 9 o'clock. which will be some sort of meat and rice or meat and potato or something like that. I'll then train another client at 9:30 till 10:30, and then I train myself between 10:30 and 12. And then I'll train. I'll have a shake and some fruit after training at 12 o'clock. I'll train another client at 12 till 1. I have another meal between 1 and half 1. I'll train another client at 1:30 till 2:30. I'll train another client at 2:30 till 3:30, and then I'll have another meal at 3:30, 4 o'clock, and then I'm done for the day in the gym. And then I go home on an evening. I'll have another 2 meals throughout the evening. Spend some time with my missus and my cat. Everyone knows I love my cat. I'll work on an evening. I'll prepare all my food for the next day, answer all my emails, do my social media. 10:15, 10:30, I'm in bed. I eat my last meal in bed, and then I go to sleep and do the same again every day.
Quality. Do you know if you had an helicopter view of that? So we're just looking at that wrote down. What you've got there is a guy who's super consistent, who anyone who's listening to this can take that. So like, rather than just wake up in the morning, like we all do at times, like going to the gym. If you just go to the gym straight away and just start lifting, start running as fast as you can, you're going to get injured. And I think a lot of us minds are like that. We wake up in the morning, we get up like 10 minutes before we need to leave the house. We're rushing around, we're having a shit breakfast. Before we're even on first bus to work or we're in the car to work, we're already stressed. You know, getting up that little bit earlier, getting a good meal inside you, a good nutritious meal, it just sets you off right. And I think a lot of our people who are listening to our podcast, who are maybe in a negative state of mind, who've got some mental health problems, these type of key info and getting that structure in lockdown or out of lockdown is vital to good mental health.
Yeah, I think consistency and routine is everything. I'm a bit of a perfectionist, and I like to get everything, pretty set, perfect. Like even the night before, I'll have my outfit ready for the next day, laid in a certain position. I'll have my cap, my trainers, my vest and my shorts all lined up ready for the morning, all ready to put on in the morning. I think, and as well, on the flip side of that, when I don't do my routine, I get a bit annoyed with myself. So if I do slip a little bit, I get really annoyed with myself, and I say, right, fucking sort your head out. Tomorrow you're going to do it properly. And I do, it's just habit and consistency. And like I say, every day, I have a good day at work. Every day I get my meals right. Every day, I do something good for my staff at work. It makes me feel better in myself. Every good thing you do makes you feel better. Every bad thing you do makes you feel worse. So you've just got to keep trying to choose the right thing and the good choice.
100%.
I think it comes back as well, Luke. I know that you've talked a lot about, I think it's something I used to do quite a lot as well. A lot of people use time as an excuse. You've always said that everybody gets the same amount of time. It's up to you how you use it. And I think that's even when we're talking about routine that, obviously there's times in the morning when I'm sort of rushing out the door, saying to me, little lad, come on, get your shoes on, all the rest of it. If you're giving yourself that extra 10 minutes or that extra 20 minutes in the morning to get up, you put yourself in that positive state because you've got done what you need to get done. You're not then protracting that, negative state and that,
energy.
Yeah, that sort of energy onto somebody else going, right, you come on, you hurry up. But, make their day more tough and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's...
I don't know if any of you watch that Netflix. I'm not really into TV, but I've been watching the Michael Jordan, The Last Dance on Netflix. And if there's ever a man that I've seen, and I think what Ricky just touched on there is about standards that we have for ourselves. He's pissed off when he don't do the stuff that he knows works for himself. And that should be like everyone else because Michael Jordan, greatest basketballer of all time, and they say the greatest athlete to ever play a team sport, the standards he set for himself and his teammates, they said at times was brutal. They said that to be around him was so intense, it scared a lot of people off. But the hunger and drive and determination to be the best version of himself, that's all he's ever said he was concerned about. If I'm the best version of me, no one can ever say to me, well, you're telling me to do something that you wouldn't do. That's what a lot of people, for me, I believe, as a human race, as society, we need to start to raise the standards. And that's what just made me think about when Ricky said then about the way that he's hard on himself. And a lot of time, it's about self-care. It's about people. Self-care to me is being angry at yourself when you haven't done the things that work for your mind. Like Ricky just said, he's pissed off when he hasn't got his meal ready, when he hasn't got his stuff out, because he knows in order to have his best day possible, that's what he needs to do. Isn't that right, Ricky?
Yeah, it's finding those triggers that work for you. Obviously, what works for me might not work for someone else, but it's just finding those triggers that make you feel good. I know if I do this, I try and think of it as like ticking boxes. So I'm just going to tick these boxes through the day. So I actually write quite a lot. I like writing lists as well.
Yep.
So what I do, I write lists. Right, I need to email Steve back. I need to order that off eBay. I need to ring that client at that time, and I'll tick them off as we go on through the day. And there's a massive sense of accomplishment at the end of the day if you've ticked everything off your list. Likewise, I get pissed off with myself if I haven't ticked everything off the list. So that's kind of what life's all about for me. It's about daily accomplishments, and that's what bodybuilding is good for, and that's what training. It doesn't have to be bodybuilding, but just training in the gym. You know, if you're new in the gym and you go to the gym and you can bench press 60 kilos, you're right, I'm going to set a target 8 weeks. I want to bench press 80 kilos. Right, to do that, you've got to keep ticking these boxes off every day. It's not going to happen by magic. Right, I need to eat these meals. I need to go to the gym 5 times a week. I need to say no to the lads on that piss up on Saturday. And when you get to that 80 kilo bench press, not only are you really buzzing because you've hit your target, but you've also buzzing because every day to get that end target, you've had to hit a load of mini targets along the way. So that's what that's going to do. It's going to build your confidence, make you feel better about yourself. And then if you can hit that goal, well, why can't I hit that goal? Why can't I hit that other goal? So then you feel more confident to set yourself more goals in life. The more goals you achieve, it's like a snowball effect.
A lot of it's what goes on behind the scenes as well, and it's like the hard work and things like that. I think you touch on this an awful lot, Luke, within your business, and not just that, within your rugby as well, that it took an awful lot of hard work for you to get to where you got. Not an awful lot of people see that. You know, they didn't see, you know, the tough side of you when you were a young lad. You started rugby because of your body image and things like that, and then that obviously led to you playing professionally. And it's the same with your work, and I think that not a lot of people see the drive and the stuff that you're putting behind and that routine that you drive yourself and those standards that you set yourself that, you know.
And that's like with Ricky there and that brand just behind his head there, that 1RM. People now, you know, they'll see his car outside, you know, they'll see his body now, and that's what people see in it. They see the end product. They don't see years and years. You know, he just said he's going 40, or you've just gone 40, and he started training.
40, 40,
half his life has been committed into what that brand is just built. And you know, from ANDYSMANCLUB, which took us 4 years to get to where we are now, but outside looking in, it just seems like this massive movement.
Yeah.
It's, you know, and if you want to have good mental health, you want to have a good mindset, don't expect to have it by tomorrow. Be accountable, set yourself little goals and accomplish. I think we've spoke really positive today, and it's been unbelievable so far. But there is a darker side to all this today, you know, and you went through a bit of a storm. We're not a bit of a storm, Ricky. There's a fucking big storm in your life right now, isn't there? Do you want to start us off at the beginning of it, mate? I know it's going to be a real raw one for you.
So you know, currently, right in the middle now, I'm going through. Well, I'm going to say probably. It's not probably. It is the toughest thing I've ever gone through in my life. You know, at this moment in time, my girlfriend of 15 years. I've got to try and say this without getting upset. Has currently got cancer of the spine, and she's literally right at the end of it now, and she's literally got weeks to live. And you know, it's been a really hard experience. You know, especially this last few weeks, because I've been literally caring for around. Apart from coming to the gym for 2 hours a day, I've been caring for around the clock. But yeah, you know. It's been a really tough time.
Fucking hell, mate. I think everyone listening now will be like, what the fuck has just happened? We've just built up all this picture about all this stuff, and this guy shouldn't have any problems in his life because he's got a gym, he's got a business, he's got everything in his life seems all right. We've just built up all this picture about positivity, but you're practicing what you preach, aren't you? Like, you're not just...
I would say 100%, Luke, right? What has got me through this experience I'm currently going through, what has kept this strong and kept this straight is everything we spoke about 10 minutes ago. It's that routine, it's that consistency. Like, if I get up at 6:30, you know, I'm getting up at 6:30 in the lockdown, a little bit late, but I'm still getting up at 6:30 every day in the lockdown. If I get up, you know, I get my breakfast, I get Gemma her breakfast, I get certain things done. I'm coming to the gym every day at 9, I'm having a workout. Now, if I keep doing that every day, this stays tight, stays strong. But if any of that slipped, I'd probably lose the plot, if I'm honest. So all that consistency that we're talking about before, staying in that routine, it's like that gives me, doing all that stuff, training, eating, getting up at a certain time, ticking those boxes that I was on about before, that is what keeps this strong.
It's not even really like you're training for your body, is it now? You're training for life, aren't you? Like those tests you're doing, those muscles you're ripping, really. It's just about training your calluses in your mind for what life's going to throw at you. Do you want to tell us a bit about Gem?
Jem, she was a project manager. She was also, like me, into bodybuilding, competing, not the actual bodybuilding category, but in the bikini category, you know. And a little message for everyone out there about cancer, you know, Jem is the picture of health. You know, she's a beautiful girl. She eats healthy, trains every day. She drinks maybe once or twice a month, but moderate, you know, very low amount of alcohol. And she's still, you know, got cancer. That's, you know, now, you know, basically eating away at her. And it just goes to show you with cancer, this can happen to anybody out there. So don't be ignorant to it. You know, don't matter how healthy you are, it can still happen to you.
I think this is a really unique perspective as well, Ricky, because myself and you were talking just before Luke joined us before that quite often we speak, especially with Andy's Man Club, and Luke touched on it before, of people that have had lived experiences and look back on it. And not very often do we get people that are going through that storm at that moment in time, quite willing to open up quite in the way that you're doing. I think it's really key as well, the things that you touch on about making sure that you're still doing those things, because it'd be really, really easy. And I think it'd be, you know, a lot of people would understand if you turned around and said, well, I'm not going to go training today. I'm not going to do those things. I'm not going to keep that routine. I'm not going to, you know, and we say it quite a lot in Andy's Man Club that you can't fill somebody else's cup from an empty cup. You know, you've got to make sure that you're in a position to be able to support her. I think
that leads me on. I was just going to say this, right? You've hit the absolute nail on the head. And I said this to Gemma yesterday, right? It's like, she needs me to be strong. She needs me to be together because she needs me to look after her. And if I lose this, I can't look after her. So all of my strength that I've got, I need to keep coming to the gym in my routine, because the better I feel in myself, the stronger this is, the better position I am to look after her. If I crumble, you know, she's going to crumble. It's going to make the whole situation 1,000 times harder. So it's like I need to be the captain of the ship and keep strong and you know, keep my mind healthy. In that position, I'm just in a better position to give her the best care possible.
When did you find out? What could you take us through what it was like? Because I just can't bear thinking. And you know, where were you at in life? You know, were it recently? Have they give you this diagnosis a while ago? Where were you at?
So Jem first had cancer April 2018. She actually then got the all clear. You don't get the full all clear, but as close to all clear as you can get. She got that last February 2019. And then in August, it returned as what's called a secondary cancer. Now, secondary cancer is incurable. So we found out in October that there was no cure for cancer. So this is only October last year, so very, very short time ago.
And then you go into, what happens? You go to a doctor's office and they just sit there like, and they chat to you, and then they just give it you straight as.
You have an oncologist, so you have a special cancer doctor, and they give you the information. Yeah, I mean the doctor was amazing, you know, but yeah, they give you the information, and then you've just got to process it as best you can. And every time, like, I mean, that was October. That was really tough. We got the news, and we actually, when we got the news, I took her away for the weekend somewhere nice to try and sort of get away from everything, and we had a nice weekend. And then I remember on the Monday after that weekend, it was weird. We got the news on the Friday, but I didn't get upset till the Monday, which is weird. So I remember coming to work on the Monday, and I don't mind admitting this, I actually cried in front of my work colleague, Nat, and I am not the sort of guy who cries in front of another guy, do you know what I mean? So this is probably the first time I've cried in front of anybody outside of being a kid, but I just burst into tears in front of my pal. And I just says, right, I'm off home. I had to get in my car and just drive home that minute. After only one of a scheduled 7 sessions, I had to just go home. I just kind of had, my head went for a few hours.
It's understandable, isn't it? Completely understandable.
Yeah.
How's Jem's head been? Because I just can't even fathom what that feeling must be like.
Wow. I mean, if anyone's been following Jem's journey, she's been putting it as like a blog on Instagram, like her thoughts and feelings of what she's going through. And I tell you what, I says, I'm going to live the rest of my life just full of pride for Gemma of how she's conducted herself throughout this, you know, horrible experience. You know, she's still smiling and laughing every day. You know, we're having jokes on a night, and, you know, and I said to her last night, I says, how many people in this situation would be laughing and joking? But she's honestly been absolutely amazing. She said last night, she goes, well, there's no I can do about it. You know, it's just really bad luck that I've got it. So I've just got to accept it because there's no I can do about it. And she's been as positive, honestly, as soon as can be. And it's not fake positivity either, if you get what I mean by that. Yeah. You know, it's not fake positivity. It's real positivity. It's real smiles and real laughter. She obviously has at times where she's upset and miserable, like myself. I do as well. Not miserable, but upset, and the emotion gets you. But we have a bit of an emotional time. We have a little cry. We get that out, and then we're all right again. But, you know, she's been absolutely amazing in this. I can't even say how proud I am of her.
Phenomenal.
I don't know about you, Andy. It's taken me back big time. Just think, you know, there's fucking no greater gift than life, is there? And being positive as you can in it. And being a suicide prevention charity, you know, even stories like that, I just think it gives people hope that, you know, whatever you're going through right now can pass. You know, with Jem there, the situation that she's in can't pass, and she's still being super positive, and she's focusing on the controllables. And that's something that anyone who listens to this podcast can do. You can control the controllables. The storm you're in right now will pass, you know, and if you can continue to keep that hope, like Gemma is in a storm that's going to stay here. Fuck, man, like, it's just, yeah, I lost my words, really. I just think, you know, if there's ever been a big kick-up arse for guys to talk and show emotion, you give it there today, you know, even saying yourself there. And Andy's man club, you know, Andy didn't have a mental health problem. You know, Andy Lad went to gym, he'd been in prison when you were younger, just a normal fucking bloke like us. And to hear you saying that there to any young lad watching this, he's a big bodybuilder who said, you know, and he's had a big storm going on, and you might have a different type of storm. It's fucking okay to have a cry. It's okay to jump in your car and shoot off back home when you just can't handle it that day, you know. But then you didn't just stay in your car. You didn't just stay on your couch or in your bed. You got back to what you knew works for you.
Well, you know what I did that day, funnily enough? I can kind of remember the timeline. I did my first client. I had my little breakdown at work. It was probably about 8:30. Drove home in a bit of a mess, crying. People were ringing me. I couldn't answer the phone. I just couldn't speak to anybody. I got home, laid on the couch. I probably just laid there for an hour or so. And I just said to myself, what would Gemma think if she saw me here fucking upset, feeling sorry for myself? She'd tell me to have a fucking word and sort my head out, you know what I mean? So I had a meal, right? I got a strong coffee down me. I drove back to the gym and I did a workout. And after that workout, I suddenly felt all right again. And ever since then, I've been strong, you know, every day since then.
And just to put this in perspective, this is a guy who's saying this as someone whose partner is terminally ill. Like, let's just get his head around that, you know, he knew in order to keep his head right, he had to go back and do the thing that he probably didn't feel like doing. But after he did it, he felt it. And that's something that those guys who don't want to walk through that door that night, who don't want to go to a gym, don't want to go out for a run, they're the times that you should do it, because, as Ricky said there, it made him feel better for it in a fucking horrendous situation.
Yeah, so let me say this, right? Listen, you know, you're going to have days where you don't feel like getting out of bed. You're going to have days where you don't want to go to work. You're going to have those days when you don't want to go to the gym, okay? But 100%, let me tell you, every time you don't want to do these things, if you get over that mental battle in your mind and get it done, you're always going to feel better for doing it, 100% every time.
The OK to Run challenge that a lot of our lads are doing at the moment as well. And it looked at, somebody said to us the other day that they really didn't want to get up and go for a run, but then he put his mindset on that you never regret a run. You never regret a workout, you know, so go get it done because you'll feel better after it.
100%. I think where we've got to in this, Andy, it'd be great to run an Andy's Man Club. Show Ricky how an Andy's Man Club works. Show anyone who's watching, because Ricky will have a lot of followers who will be tuning in and watching this who are probably thinking, Kim men sat around chatting. But what we want to show is that what Andy's Man Club is no different to what we've just done. But we'll run through a proper session and you can facilitate it, Andy, like you always do.
Yeah, no bother at all. I've not facilitated a session for years and years and years, and then since lockdown, I think I've done about 20. So yeah, we start as we'd always do every single week with how's your week been. Touch on some of the stuff we've already talked about. Really, my week has improved over the last couple of weeks. I think I fell into a bit of a trap of going to bed late, getting up late, you know, and that routine had massively disappeared. Not massively disappeared, but had disappeared from my week, and that was starting to have an effect on not just me but my little boy as well. And this last week we've managed to put some nice routine back into things, and you know, I'm managing to, you know, last couple of weeks take a little bit of time off on a Wednesday in the afternoon, things like that, and little boy's called Ben, and we just have Ben's Day Wednesday because we're working from home and things like that, and he keeps coming to us and sort of going, "Oh, Dad, can I just?" And I'm having to find myself saying no or in a little while or things like that, just while I get my list ticked off. But on a Wednesday, I say yes. It's his opportunity to have a bit of dad time or a bit of mum time or whatever it might be, and we say yes to him. And that's really positive. So yeah, routine has been a massive part of our week over the last couple of weeks. So I've had a really positive week this week. And last night again, facilitated the newbies group that we're doing online. We've opened it up to just new faces, just this group. And last night we had that many in. We had 26, I think, in, and we had to split it off into 2 separate groups. Which the amount of support that's shown in there. I think again we've talked about the stigma and those attitudes that appear about, it's men talking. But these fellas, once they get on, they've never met each other. The vibe that's in those little online chat groups is like nothing else. The support that comes out of those fellas who don't know each other from Adam. One of them sat up in a room in Dundee, another one sat in a room in Huddersfield, one sat in a room in Devon, and they're all coming together, and it's really powerful. So my week's been really positive. I'll pass on to yourself, Luke. How's your week been?
Yeah, really good. I've been really creative, as you'll see, Andy. I was grafting over late Sunday night when I've just got loads of projects on at the minute, and probably at the beginning of lockdown, I went a bit like an hippie. I was like, you know what, like, you can't really set goals at the minute because you don't know when lockdown's going to end. So I've got a camper van. I was like, maybe I'll just like sell up and go live in my camper van in the middle of woods with my kids and maybe it misses if I decided that I wanted to come. But I just thought just that's how my head were at, and I was like taking daughter out of nursery. That were it. Like it's going to be a stay-at-home dad, and then like last few weeks I've just really got my shit together and just got my businesses back on track and just really feeling motivated. Motivation, as we've said, or we haven't said, but comes and goes for everyone. But it's like what Ricky said, what you do each day counts, and I'm making sure that I'm eating good. I'm just started back training. I had that week off because I was a little bit ill and run down. Back training and just feeling really good and keeping myself accountable. And I think we've all got within us greatness to whatever that greatness may be. And I've probably been a little bit. When you mention the word greatness, it's a little bit, and I've always like, do your best. But like, I do believe that we all have this greatness within us to either help inspire other people, help inspire ourselves, whatever it may be. But your greatness comes, and this is why I'm buzzing that we've got Ricky on today. It comes from your standards. And I think where I'm at today is like everything I've ever had in life has come from my standards. And maybe like, right now we can't control what's going on this lockdown, but what we can control is our standards and the standards that we drive for those around us. So that's why like I've been pushing you guys again, and you'll be getting a lot more pushed, Andy, as this week's go on, because my standards are going up, and that's what it's all about, isn't it? So overall, very, very good week. Yeah,
well, that's the thing though, that your standards going up because what you surround yourself with is what where your focus goes, and through you driving yourself will help me drive myself. That's not a bad thing at all. Come to you then, Ricky. How's your week been?
Well, I've already spoke quite a bit about it. My week's been all right, as far as it can go, I suppose. I've just done exactly what I've been saying before. I've got up at the same time every day. I've gone to the gym at the same time every day. I kind of just done the same as I've done every week. My day and week never really changes in terms of the structure of it. So I've just done my normal daily stuff. And I've just been spending some really good quality time with Gemma on an evening. So we watch a movie on a night. I cook us some nice food together. We watched Lost Boys last night, which was really good fun. And that's it, really. My week tends to be the same as the week before. It's just constant. I don't really stray from a routine. It's just the same thing all the time.
Nice. Right. Question number 2 is, what's one positive from your week? I already touched on mine, I think, in the opening bit, but the fact that I've been involved in facilitating those groups for the newcomers, like I said, the vibe that's in there, and I've probably taken my answer for question 2 in question 1, but it don't matter. That vibe, and to just see guys coming in and buying into what Andy's Man Club's trying to do straight away is a huge positive for me. And also, like I already touched on, the day with my little boy on Wednesday as well. So what about yourself, Luke? One positive from your week?
This is no disrespect. We've had some great guests on, but my positive would be, having Ricky on here today. I just think some of his lessons, not coming from the background, that he's here to talk about mental health or suicide, I think it's just real value to those who are listening, to myself as well, about that routine and that consistency that's needed to be at your best. And it's just something that's come at the time of when I'm already on this. it's just concreted that in, and I hope anyone listening will be taking something from that. And obviously, just the fact of, like, no matter what life hits you with, no matter how big or small, and in, you know, Ricky's case, it's fucking humongous. It's just kept consistent, and it's helping him through. And obviously, bigger challenges are still yet to come through this process of what he's going through. But like, he'll have a brotherhood in us, you know, where he can lean on. But you know, we know that where his mind's at. It's just, yeah, it's just an honour to see. That'd be my positive.
Nice, I like that. Ricky, one positive from you, mate.
So I'm going to do two positives because I like to be different. One positive is obviously every minute, every hour that I get to spend with Gemma is an absolute blessing. So we've had some amazing times this week. So that's a real positive. And second positive is I can lift the same weights on my legs now, locked in the gym on my own without a spotter. So that's another positive.
Nice.
Without dying.
Class. Question number 3 then is there anything you need to get off your chest? I'm in a decent position at this moment in time. I'm really fortunate. Like I say, I've managed to get some things, looking back and sorting some things out. So I'm really fortunate. I've not got anything to get off my chest at the moment. What about yourself, Luke?
The fact that how beautiful Andy's Man Club is when you get a scenario like this, even in a group, where you've got someone like yourself there, Andy. I don't have what to get off my chest. You just had a massive reveal and, you know, offload by Ricky, and I'm sure there'll be more to come. And it just perspective of people's problems, that we're all going through our own storms. And my theory used to be that your problem's your problem and your problem's your problem, which I still get and still think you need to learn through. But what's come to me over a few years working in prisons, working with our country's most violent and most troubled individuals, is that, like, there is something in it when you can take perspective of someone else's problems and realises that yours maybe might not be as big as theirs. And if they're able to deal with theirs, then you definitely can deal with yours. And it's like that white sign on wall. The reason why it's white is it's meant to give people light in dark times. And hearing stories like Ricky's, you know, and all the stuff we try to do for Andy's Man Club. So it's a real positive offload today. You know, not negative. It's real positive that we just try to give people light.
Do you know what was mad then? As you said, talking about light, I think it was Dougie just walked down the corridor because he just looked through the window. I've just seen him do it. But as you talked about light, the automatic lights on the corridor in the office came on.
No way.
Yeah.
Right.
Right behind you. So, yeah, Ricky, is there anything you need to get off your chest yourself there, pal?
Not really in this. I suppose nothing that I've already not touched on already, really. Nothing that I'd like to really add at the moment.
Nice.
Right, question 4 from last night. Then question number 4 was, away from AMC, who's one person you know you can rely on? Again, I've touched an awful lot on family, the sort of immediate family that's within these 4 walls, but I'm going to sort of push the boundaries beyond that as well, because obviously spent a lot of time with them with the lockdown and all the rest of it. So one person who's been a massive sort of reliance for me is my brother. You know, I've got 2 brothers, and one of them is, you know, he's always there and all the rest of it, but there's another brother that he's probably one of the reasons why I involved myself with Andy's Man Club. He noticed, you know, some of the things going on with me and some of the reasons that, you know, I probably needed to go and talk and things like that. So he's somebody that constantly rings me to check in on me. Not constantly, he's not a pain in the ass, but do you know what I mean? He sort of checks in on me and rings me up and sort of goes, how are you doing? And, you know, I know that he's always there. If I need to vent or if I need to unleash about something, he's always there. He's listening. And, you know, unfortunately, he lives in Switzerland, so he's a little bit away. But, you know, that would be one person I know that I could always pick up the phone to and who's always got me back. So we'll come on to yourself, Luke. One person you know you can rely on.
You know, there's my mum, my dad, but I think there's like one again outside of that immediate circle from my missus and everyone is my best pal, Brett. He's where anything I've ever set up ever in life, you know, business or anything, he's always there. You know, he came on the bus tour with us with Andy's Man Club. He's helped refit the shops in town, never wants a penny, no matter I've tried to give it him. He just loves, you know, he's just fucking great lad. And, you know, first person at my house digging up an hole with me. And, you know, he's always in trenches with me. He's there. He's seen me at my worst. You know, the night I got in trouble and got locked up, he was there with me, throwing, you know, saving my ass, and we've always just had that bond together. And he's a brother, you know. So yeah, definitely Brett.
Brilliant, Ricky.
Well, so I don't have any family that I talk to. No one. So one thing that I have got though, I'm not going to say one person. I've got the best collection of friends you can imagine. Literally, I'm gonna Lewis, Brownie, Wiley, Nat, Big Berno, the Big Sausage, Tom and Kane, Ricky. I've got so many good friends. So many good friends. They've all been checking in on me, sending me texts. The thing is, I'm one of those guys. I'm all right, on my own. But they've still been sending me texts. Are you all right, Ricky? Just checking up on you, And in tough times, you really find out who your friends are. And I can gladly say that I've got some really, really, really top friends.
Class. That's unreal.
We're not wondering why we ask these type of questions at end of Andy's Man Club. It's like, when you're going through a storm, whether it be through someone's ill health, or it be through a financial problem, whatever it may be, it's just remembering that you're not alone, that you do have people in your life that you can count on. You might be someone like Ricky who, he's good in his own company, but knowing that those days that you might be a little bit off, there is someone you can drop a text at. That's what it's about, giving you that little glimmer, like, there is people that give a shit about me.
Yeah.
We need that, don't we? No matter what we all say, we like a bit of attention now and again. We like a little bit of a slap on back. I always say arse, but political correctness and all that now I get pulled up. Don't pat on back, don't we? That just says, you're cool, I've got your back.
And one thing I'd add to this as well is I think this is where being a good person helps. So what I'd say is anytime you can go out your way to help somebody, give someone a compliment, just generally be nice to people. You don't ask for anything back, but there's always going to come a point in time in your life where you might need that help in return. So because I've always been one of those guys that likes to help my friends out, likes to do nice things for people, it's like it's all coming back to me now, and everything comes in a circle. So you'll what you give out is what you receive. So the nicer you are to people, the more favors you can do for people. Not out the kindness of your heart. When you have a tough time, that's all going to come back around to you.
Definitely.
Right, question number 5. I think it's one that we've probably already touched on. It's sort of weird how these things work out, isn't it? That, last night's question is something that we've touched on in today's podcast, but it's what's one thing you're going to tick off your to-do list?
Oh, wow.
And I've already started on mine, and obviously, you've talked a lot about it, Ricky, and your lists and things like that. Over the weekend, we started on the top end of our garden. Our garden's sort of in 3 sections. We've got a patio, then a lawn, and then a top bit. And the top bit's always been overgrown and, a bit shit. So we've made sure that we had somebody else cut some trees down and stuff like that. We made a start on that this weekend. And then myself and my missus have been sitting down and planning what we're going to make that look like. And it's been exciting. And, once I finish this podcast, I've got a list of people I need to go and ring to come and, can you measure up for putting the borders up here and stuff like that and those sort of things. So that's my to-do list. It's going to be to continue with the top half of our garden. Our garden this last couple of weeks has been an absolute godsend as well. We've spent a lot of time in our garden, with lockdown and things like that. It's been great for my little boy. So, to put a little bit more focus into that as well is good for us. Luke, what's on your to-do list?
Gym tonight. I've got a little gym set up in garage now. I got some weights delivered got some weights I picked up the other day I bought off someone, so I'm really looking forward to it. It's been about running a lot for me recently. Obviously being locked down, I really want to get that pump back on and work hard, and because I was watching that Michael Jordan, and just like the day he lost the finals, his personal trainer, he had actually his own trainer as well, said, right Mike, he must have always shot off straight on holiday, I see you, just ring me when you need me. He's like, see you in the morning. He's like, what? Like normally you go. And I was like, I'll see you in the morning. And I just thought, like, you know what, that's it. When you're having a bit of a rough time mentally, like Michael Jordan was there, he just lost his dad. And all he said was, I'll see you in gym in the morning. And they said that he just outworked everyone. So I've got this thing at the minute where my tick-off is work hard and everyone work harder than everyone.
Brilliant. Ricky?
Well, I've already obviously touched on my to-do list. So my to-do list will just be doing my daily things, going to the gym, eating my food, getting any work done that needs to get done. I'm generally quite good at getting stuff done, so it'll just be carry on as normal for me, really, getting my usual bits and bats ticked off daily.
Fantastic. So that sort of brings to close the Andy's Man Club section, and that's exactly as those clubs, 29 clubs we had, I suppose, around the country last night with the newbie clubs. That's how every single one of them ran, and it runs exactly the same no matter where you are in the country, and it's that simple, isn't it, really, Luke?
Yeah, listen to other guys speaking, taking note from other guys, giving advice. There'll be stuff there that, like, if Ricky was sat in a group, there might be a lad saying, can't get out of bed. Well, then hearing Ricky saying, well, my head's like it is because I do this every day, that might make that other guy go, maybe I should try that. I'll give that a go. And another guy who's saying that he's smoking weed every weekend and feeling shit rest of the week. Maybe there's someone listening, well, maybe I don't want to do that. or I don't want to go out and sesh every weekend. So yeah, I think it's really important. And I'm not saying having a good time, you know, however you take what a good time is to you, isn't necessary for everyone at some point. You know, going and letting your hair down and doing whether it's a few beers or, you know, going on top of a mountain, whatever it is for you, climbing mountains, whatever, going on holidays, going partying, whatever it is, everyone needs to blow out at points. Just keeps you relaxed on it, but it's just making sure that the rest of the time, as Ricky's touched on loads, and you know what I just think's been so important today is consistency is the key.
I think one thing I'd like to add to that is, you know, you touched on like drinking and drug taking and stuff. I think one thing that a lot of guys need to do, they need to not follow the crowd. I think too many guys out there will go drinking every weekend because the mates might take the piss if they don't drink. You know, one thing I would say to anyone watching this is you just not got to give a fuck what anybody thinks. When I was 18 and I says, right, I'm going to stop taking drugs. I didn't stop drinking, but I went from drinking every day to about once or twice a month. Literally did it like that. And it's like, I didn't care what my mate said. I didn't care what anyone thought. I'm going to make that decision for myself. I think too many guys are a little bit scared to make these choices in fear of what people might say. But you want to do what's best for you. Don't give a fuck about what other people think.
100%. I can relate to that. Like playing rugby, you know, didn't really drink. I remember going on, you know, nights out and the hammer you got, but I just stuck with it. And, you know, it's probably why, you know, certain teams I did better than other teams, you know, just it's that mindset in it, getting that mindset right to say that other people, you know, they're what they think of you, positively, negative, what they think you should or shouldn't do, shouldn't take away from what you want from life.
I bet after a while as well, Luke, I bet they respected you for saying no, didn't they?
Yeah, and that's, you know, that's the measure of playing at somewhere like Salford where, you know, you probably got pissed took out, you then going to like a team like Leeds who were world champions who, you know, that was just a standard. Like they drink, like you said then, you know, occasionally. The rest of the time it were about winning tournaments, winning games, and being the best, and that's the sort of stuff that only now have I started looking back at and going, do you know what, like all those little lessons of winning habits. And I keep going on about this Last Dance, and I recommend everyone watch it because you can just see a winning mindset. And I think that's why, you know, the snapshot what we did at the beginning we done on purpose, because they've got a snapshot of you, Ricky, behind that a big storm, but behind that shitload of consistency. And that's why, you know, you're a successful bloke.
One thing I'd add as well is if you are going to make a change, don't expect to suddenly wake up the next day feeling amazing. It's going to be a slow process, but just every day, just try and better yourself a little bit. So from the process of me stopping drinking and going to the gym at say about 18, 19 I was, it was probably through the 18 and 19. I'd say it probably took, you know, 4 or 5 years really to get anywhere near where I wanted to get to. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't like an overnight thing. So don't think, oh, because I've not gone on the piss on Saturday or I've gone to the gym once, you're suddenly going to wake up a better person. You've got to make that choice once, but then you've got to make it again, and keep making that right choice. But also as well, if you do make a wrong choice, don't fucking punish yourself. The next day is another day. Just make the choice a better choice the next day. It's consistency is the key, always to becoming better.
Andy, I think what's good while we've got Ricky on is to pepper him a bit about diet and training, because I know you all really want to get into training, aren't you, Andy?
Here we go again. It's something I probably need to do a little bit more of.
More or like start. Usually more of insinuates that you're already doing something.
I do bits and bobs, I suppose, that, you know, but I'm not consistent with it. That's the key, and that's the you know, I do little things and I'll probably do it for a couple of days, and then I'll sort of turn around and say, right, well, today's going to be my day off, and then the next week becomes my week off. And then that was 2017, wasn't it? Say again.
That was 2017. So I've got up here, Ricky, a really random one. It's good getting you on. Some of my missus has had a bit of a problem with. Last 3-4 weeks, she's been hammering the training. I mean, like doing HIIT workouts, proper, you know, training good, lifting weights, stuff that she's never done before. And she's really doing it. Her diet's unbelievable. Counting her macros, like she's macros. Yeah, she's even using like fitness. She's doing it all, mate. Like 1,200 calories a day she were eating, like, you know, into a full. She was like, I'm not even being, and she's lost like a pound. She's losing inches everywhere, which I'm saying to her, that you need to stay motivated because that's good. That's what you want. And she's like, no way, it's coming up. And I thought, well, while I had you here, then it just came to me, I'll pep you and ask you why. Well, that's one more pound than nothing, is what I would first say to that. Yeah. And then that pound leads to £2. And then that £2 leads to £3. All I'd say to that is,
a lot of small changes add up to a big change. Nobody gets in shape overnight, okay? You know, I can bench press 200 kilos. I didn't just go to the gym for a week and bench press 200 kilos. I started like everyone else, benching 50, 60 kilos. And it took me 15 years. No, it took me, wait a second, from getting from 100 kilos on the bench press to getting to 200 kilos on the bench press, it took 15 years. So it doesn't happen overnight. Do you know what I mean? So even if you can add 5 kilos to your bench press, or like your missus lose 1 pound, well, what's 1 pound plus another pound? It's 2 pounds. What's 2 pounds plus another pound? It's 3 pounds. 6 months down the line, she's lost 15 pounds. She's looking best shape of her life, and she's feeling the best she's ever felt because she stuck to it. If she'd have sacked it off when she lost that only 1 pound because she's only lost a pound, she'd still be the same as where she is now. So a lot of little changes add up to a big change.
100%, and that's what I'm trying to get in her head at the minute. But she's been a bit hard on herself because I think before babies she could lose it really quick, and now whether it's metabolism or hormones, whatever it may be, it's just not coming off quite as quick. And she's really working hard, like really hard. And I'm not just saying that she's not just going out on like a little light jog. She's hammering it, and I think it is just that again, isn't it? It's that consistency of saying I've got to stick at it no matter what.
Yeah. I think there's a saying. What's the saying? It's even if you're going really, really, really slow, you're still going faster than the person sat on the couch.
Yes, 100%.
So that's what I'd say to that. Keep moving forward and keep trying, and don't get demotivated if it doesn't quite go the way you want it to. You just got to keep pushing through those plateaus and stay motivated and keep pushing on. You'll eventually get to where you want to get to. And
there's a little bit of a clever analogy using my missus there, and it's for that guy who comes to our club, who maybe comes 2-3 times and thinks, maybe this isn't for me, although that person maybe hasn't even spoke yet, but then actually goes, you know what, I'm going to go that next time. That day I don't feel like going. And they turn up and they realise that actually by talking, by starting to look at the positives in question 4 and question 5 in their life, because what we did today was, and showing the guys the psychology behind it is, number 4 was so that you knew that you do have someone in your life you can count on. You're not, someone who's alone. And number 5 is that you've got goals. Go achieve them between now and next week. And it's to give people that mindset. So I think whether we're using the fitness analogy with yourself or whether we're using the Andy's Man Club, mental health, mindset, struggles in life of using our club, that's what it's about, right? It's just about being consistent and continuing even when you don't think you should.
Just to follow on from that there, Luke, we was talking yesterday, we had a couple of co-facilitators from around the country last night join us in the newbie group so we could split it off. And the guy that joined us basically said, if you come into AMC, give it a month. Don't make your mind up off that first one, because that first one's a bit of a blur. It's a little bit of you don't really know what to expect. You don't really know what the structure is. You're sort of thinking on your feet a little bit. Week after becomes a little bit easier because you're seeing some familiar faces. You know a little bit of the structure. Week 3, you're actually starting to feel a little bit more comfortable. And week 4 is when you start to see the change. That was his sort of point of view on that. But I think it follows on that if you give it a month, before you start actually reviewing where you're at, put the work in, put the time in, put the, whatever it is that you want to get out of it will start to appear on the horizon, I think.
It's like anything. I was saying this to someone the other day. The mind is just like a muscle. Nobody's born with a strong mind, okay? You've got to train the mind like you train the muscles. If you train the biceps week in, week out, they're going to get stronger, they're going to get bigger, okay? Just like the mind, you've got to go through tough situations and come out the other side, and get through it to go, actually, I can get through that. And if you keep doing that, you're going to eventually train the mind to become stronger. But I think the thing is, people might look at someone like me and say, oh, wow, he's really positive. He's got a really strong mind. I wasn't born with that. It's been built over, built by getting through stressful situations. That's where I've got my strong mind, and that's where I've got my positive outlook from, by getting through tough situations, coming out the other side and going, oh, I actually got through that all right. Oh, another stressful situation comes on, I got through that one all right as well. That makes me feel stronger, makes me feel more positive. So like I always say to people, the mind is just like a muscle. You've got to train it to get stronger.
100%. That's a soundbite right there, isn't it? It's just perfect, innit? And I think massive thanks for coming on today. And I know that you've got to get back to your missus, and I won't want to, after everything we've just gone through there, I want to keep you on so you can't get back to her. And, Andy's Man Club's always been about, see if I can get this right. That one man. Did it work, that?
Yeah.
And you know, Ricky is one of them men who's now coming on here to help inspire that next one man. So I'm hoping any guys who listen who come from Ricky's network, our network, will understand, you know, that life doesn't always have to be that you've got a mental health problem and you suicided before reaching out for help. You might be just listening right now, never want to attend a group, but you might end up going down to 1RM if you're from Leeds, or you might go down to another gym. You might just go out and do in your back garden today, right now, and do some press ups. You know, and understand that. Get yourself a routine, get a pen and paper out, get a to-do list going, get a structure going for your next day, and start planning what you're going to do ahead so that you can get that similar mindset to what Ricky's saying there. So when the life does hit you with the big shit, you're already ready to absorb it and go again.
Definitely. I think that's been a massive hour and a bit that we've just spent there. I think I've really enjoyed that. So thanks, Ricky, for joining us.
No, my pleasure, guys. I've really enjoyed it. Thanks for having me on.
Saying it's okay to talk as well.
It's okay to talk.
It's okay to talk. Thanks, Ricky.
No worries, guys. Have a top day.
Bad day, dark feelings are back, assaulting your heart with a panic attack. There ain't no shame in feeling depressed. You need to sit down and talk, son, get it off your chest. It's just another bad day, dark feelings are back, assaulting your heart with a panic attack. There ain't no shame in feeling depressed. You need to sit down and talk, son, get it off your chest.